Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be endeavoring on a much bigger project than my last video. In my last video, I took what was originally, I guess, intended to be a prom dress that was pretty immodest and made it like not only modest but actually something much cuter, I think, in my opinion. So today in this video, I'm going to be making a costume. So you probably know that the new Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom, just released. So for this video, I wanted to make Zelda's dress. I was already planning on making it, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to make a video and show you guys some of the techniques I'm using. So as the base for this, I have this dress, which I found at Goodwill and I used for my Halloween costume last year. I was Zelda from the previous game, Breath of the Wild. This was one of her dresses, and I'm probably not really going to wear this again. So we're going to be taking this and dyeing it to use as the base for her Tears of the Kingdom dress. This is not the adventuring outfit seen in the earlier trailers, but in, I believe, the final trailer. And I think the one right before that, there's a shot of her. It's her Zonai dress that has all the like fancy jewelry things, so we're going to be doing that. I have, so the dress, and then there's like a wrap that goes around it. I'll be using this. This is just a skirt, just a plain white skirt that we found that I will be cutting up and salvaging and turning into her wrap type thing that goes around. And then there's the strip in the middle, and we have this shirt that's like the same tealy color that we're taking. And I'm going to cut it up so that it works better. So the plan is, first I'm going to be dyeing that base dress. Then we're going to sew the wrap, and I'm not sure what you'd call that middle strip that she has, onto that. And then, well, so she has like all of that jewelry and her whole crown thing. My mom has a cricket, so we're going to be cutting that out of leather. I went on a drawing app that I have on my iPad, and I drew out the pattern for it so that we can upload it onto the Cricut design space and use it. And I think to hook those together, because it's a bunch of individual pieces, I'm going to be getting a box of little jump beads to hook them together. So first, we're gonna dye the dress. Alright, so here is the dress. I already, last year for Halloween, took it up quite a bit. It was a floor length, like formal dress, and I made it a lot shorter and made it to where it fits me, so I don't have to make any adjustments there. This is the dye that we're gonna use to make this lovely dress, a very, very dark green. And then we have this that's going to be chopped up and wrapped around to make that. And then this is going right in the middle. And then we'll have all of our fancy jewelry and things. So, with all my resources. And now, we shall go dye the dress. Now, this dress has to dye. So, we already have, I think, 3 gallons of hot water in this big Tupperware thing, one of my dad's totes. So, I'm pouring the whole bottle of dye in. When you're picking out something to dye whatever you're making in, you definitely want to make sure that you're okay with it getting slightly stained. We've not had it stained yet, but different dyes work differently. So that's just the whole bottle. And now, in goes the dress. So the dress has dyed. We've had this sitting in there for about an hour, and so now I'm going to be using these food prep gloves to take them out. Latex gloves also work. We just had a bunch of these laying around. So, ooh. This came out really well. All right. This time, the dress has been in there for a very long time. I don't know. We pretty much let it in there all afternoon. So we're going to see if it actually is dyed. Okay, so the reason we're doing this again is because the last time we had it in for an hour, and when we went to rinse it out, it just washed all of the dye out of the fabric. So we're seeing if just having it in longer will help, or if it's something with the fabric that does not hold dye well. So we're about to hose it down and see if it works or not. All right, so that dress did not work because it was polyester. The dye that we got doesn't work on polyester. We did find, though, I don't have it, but there is another kind of dye that is specifically for other fabrics like that. So that is definitely something to pay attention to if you're dyeing fabric. But we found at Goodwill, we went and picked up this other dress. It does not have sleeves at all, but I can add straps or whatever as needed, and it's easy to just wear something under. But so I have this dress now, and hopefully this one will work with the dye. So we're going to try this. And now, the dress must dye. Okay, so see you guys in an hour. Okay, so it's been an hour, so let's see if this worked. Worked this time. I'm super happy about that. So now that we have a dyed dress, we can actually start piecing it together, which I'm super excited about, and I'll see you then. Alright, so the next step is to make our earrings. She's got some pretty huge earrings. So I have these two just wooden beads that I have sketched out the design on them. I just took the picture of her from the trailer and sketched out what I could based off of that. So now I'm going to paint them. So here is the dress in its dyed glory. I have finished it, this all dry, and here are the earrings that I just made. I just took an earring back and tied it to some wire, which I just tied around it. These are kind of heavy for earrings. If you have easy access to a much lighter thing, then great, go for it. This is just what I found, and it's light enough, it works. So I also went ahead and made the other two pieces for the dress. I took my white skirt and I cut it. I just cut it in half and then cut a little chunk out. So this will serve as her wrap that goes around her dress, and then this middle piece that I just took out of the back of a skirt, not a skirt, sorry, a shirt. I cut out the back chunk because the front had jewels over the collar. So this is going to go and serve as the middle piece, which the leather is going to go over. And that is what we're doing now. So with the leather, I have gone on my drawing app and drawn out all of the designs that she has on both her belt thing and her crown. And now I'm going to cut those out with leather on the Cricut that we have, so you can upload files like that onto Cricut Design Space. So we did, and I'm going to hit go. We have it set up. It is tooling leather. It's goatskin tooling leather. 0.8 millimeters in thickness is the one that we found. You will want, if you're using the Cricut Design Space, to find the thickness of your leather, because that could potentially change the blade and the process that it uses to cut them. So it's just having me use the normal blade, the normal knife blade, and now it's all set up. So first I'm going to cut out the crown, and all I have to do is press go. Yes! Okay, here is the current state of my attire. I got the crown cut out. It actually cut out really well. It worked. I'm super excited about that. It did take an hour and a half though, because it went over the cuts multiple times. So this middle piece is going to be a long time. I don't know how long it's going to take, but probably longer than this little thing. So while I was doing that, I pieced together the rest of this dress, and I laid the white piece on over my base green dress, not quite on top, just enough that you can see it, because that's how it looks in the trailers. And then I've stuck this piece on. Now I have these safety pinned in place. You can stitch them in place if you're using this as a permanent dress, but I think this is a really good base and I might end up using this for something else. And so I'm just safety pinning these in place so that if I need to use it for something else, or if I need to wash them, I can wash the pieces separately or whatever. So I'm not doing it. Feel free to do it. And then I have this belt. This is just one of my belts. It's going to be temporary. I'm going to get a belt that is a better color to go with it, but it does help everything stay in place quite a bit and much better. I will note that with a sleeveless dress, if it's easier if you're wearing a shirt under it, it stays, but this is a pretty heavy setup for just a little sleeveless dress. So straps are a good thing to add to it if you can add sleeves, or just wearing a fairly thick shirt under it so it can stay well. This stays fine, but if I didn't have this shirt on, or if I had maybe a different thinner shirt on, it would not stay on so well. And that's part of what the belt is helping with, but it doesn't help all the way. So keep that in mind when you're making, in general, a sleeveless costume. that if you're making one and have pieces like this, it will be pretty heavy. So you'll want to keep that in mind while you're adding straps and things, because that can change the length of the straps or whatever you end up adding. So then, I don't know if I wore these before. I probably did, but I have elf ears. And I will link where I got these on Amazon. And so here is the crown in its finished glory. I use jump rings to connect these together on the holes, and then at the very end I just stick them on a bobby pin so that I can pin them into my hair. So this was pretty easy, and later on I will probably add paint to them because she has in this middle piece there is going to be some blue designs in that, so I probably will be painting that later on. But right now we're cutting out this middle piece. So this was just a test run and it worked well, so I'm going to be able to do this. So the way I have this set up is computer hooked up to the Cricut Maker, which I will link in the video down below. Okay, so the way this works, I was able to upload the files from my computer onto the Cricut Design Space app, and I just made sure that it was the right size to fit this. So right now this design is about 5 inches by 24 inches. If you have a longer or wider piece of fabric, you can change that, but that's going to be what fits best on my dress piece. And we have that with tooling leather, which it's having us use the knife blade for. So this is my big old piece of leather, and we're going to be cutting this design out on it. So again, we have these files that I drew, and I will link them down in the description so that you can use them. And let's get to it. Alright, it's finished. So now peeling it off of the sticky mat, and next we go in and we weed out all of the little dots for the jump rings to go through, and then we can hook it all together. Alright, so at this point in time I've run into a slight problem, and that is how incredibly heavy this dress is, with 2 layers of fabric and 1 layer of leather jewelry. I don't know if that has a name still, but this, as you can see, it's already falling down. It's a very heavy dress. So basically what I've done is I have found little clear plastic straps just on Amazon. So what I'm going to do is I have gone and I found where I want them to be in the back, and I've cut them really long, and so I'm just going to pin these up where I want them to be in the front, and then stitch them together, rather than having to measure about 2 different sides of them. So that, I think, will make a huge difference in how this dress fits, and I think it will fit a lot better and it will be less droopy. So I think that would be really helpful for costume stuff in general, especially something like this without sleeves, with 7 layers on top of them. So that is going to be my next step. After that, I am going to paint the leather bits, the middle piece and the crown, and then after that I will just have to make the jewelry, and then it'll be done. It is almost done, and I'm so excited to see the final result. now, which is amazing. I cannot recommend these enough. It is a huge help. And I also went and I painted these. So it took a while for me to figure out from the various trailers what parts were painted and what parts weren't. But what I ended up figuring out is kind of like this. So basically you can see here that this very top piece is painted like very similarly to the crown. Alright, so right now I'm working on beading the jewelry. What you just missed a minute ago was my sound died, so I was not able to fully explain how I painted her dress and the leather on it. Basically, what I did was I did that top piece just like the crown that's what it looks like from the trailers. The rest of it I used as a reference photo. There's a really good shot of her in the second official trailer, which I used as a reference photo for the remaining bits. So now I'm going in and working on the jewelry. So this is just taking the different pieces, beating them together. There are 2 bracelets that go on her wrists. She has 2 upper arm bands. Alright, so here is the final dress. My microphone actually cut out a second time, so I'm having to do a voiceover this time as well, but I'm so excited to show this to you guys. I have all of the jewelry and everything all made, the necklace, the armbands, the bracelets. I picked up a belt that matched with the dress itself, and it fits super well, and I'm so excited about this dress and showing you guys my project. It's all finished, and I cannot wait to play this game. So please do not forget to subscribe and hit that like button and the notifications bell so that you can be notified of all of my future uploads. Goodbye, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya!